Hey Nathan, it's Shane here again. You've just watched the operational video, and I'm just going to go through a quick troubleshooting video here for you, and go through a couple of components that you're going to just want to pay a special attention to. First of all, we'll look at the printer, and you'll see there's a little black hole in there. Okay, and if you look on the other side, you'll see there is a little sensor here. Okay, so what this is basically your film or your label sensor. There's a transmitter here and a receiver here, and this basically just shines a little light curtain. So from time to time you're going to want to clean these two sensors, that side and that side. Everything else in here should work fine for you. You're just going to load your cassette, and that should just slide in there nice and easily. You never have to force that. After you've loaded your labels, you're just going to want to hit the feed button and just make sure you feed out the first label before you start. Not too much can go wrong with your printer, but don't drop the cassette. I think a cassette's about 300 bucks if you need to replace this removable cassette. And you should be able to load various label sizes up to 60 millimeters wide. You can run continuous labels or die cut labels on here. Direct thermal labels are what you're looking for. On the controller itself, you can set up any of these keys you want. This is your touchscreen keypad. This is your membrane keypad down here. You can actually have fast keys, so your 50 most common products, you can have those as hotkeys. So it could be chicken, beef, wings, apples, pineapples, whatever you wanted as these. You could set these up as preset keys, or you can have categories where you could link in through here. You can have a calculator set up, all kinds of fancy things set up in here. You have a cleaning mode, and it's important that you understand cleaning mode, and hopefully you have a button cleaning mode on your scale. If you hit the cleaning mode, it's going to tell you before you clean, press the start button in order to set the left and the right folders and lift to cleaning position. So after every shift, you're going to want to go into cleaning mode, and you're going to hit the start button here. What's going to happen is the elevators are going to come up, the right and left folder are going to come out, and that's your indication that you're going to want to keep this folder clean and this folder clean. We use isopropyl alcohol and a light sandpaper just to keep those suckers nice and shiny. This whole lift head here can be removed. If you lift up the tray press, there's a little lift in here that you just put your thumb on this position here, and you can lift the little key. You lift it up and you push it to the back. If the screws aren't too tight, they might be too tight in here. 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just loosen those, and this elevator should come out. Okay, so it does come out. You just needed a little force there, and you just remove the whole lift head. You can take this assembly into the wash bin and wash that at nighttime. You want to make sure that all of your elevator heads are working and free moving. Keep that clean, and on the underside, and you'll see there's the little pin there that needs to lock into place when you're reseating that back onto the elevator press. So to seat that back onto the elevator press, it's as simple as you took it off. You just put it on, and it just clicks, and you hear that little click, and you'll know it's back in place. You can give it a little lift just to make sure it's not going crazy, and it's nice and seated on there. Inside, you've got your scale, and you've got a little dirt tray here that you can remove to remove any debris that falls underneath your scale. Keep that clean. You got this nice stainless steel cover on the front here, and if you ever have problems where your pusher, these little guys here, these should come back, grab your tray and bring your tray in, and this goes on a mechanism that goes back and forth. If this stops going back and forth for you, it's as simple as removing this front cover, and right underneath here there's a little flag that basically gets hit every time these come back and forth. Once that gets hit, that's what forces these to go down and come up. So sometimes these may not come up. It's as simple as moving this plate here, and there's a little flag that you just need to make sure that when these come back and forth, they're hitting that flag to make the fingers go up and down. Okay, And that's as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. Just remove those screws and you'll see the little mechanism I'm talking about. It's right on this side, okay? You've got a nice little Allen key here, and the whole purpose of this Allen key is if you run into film feeding issues where you get some film feeding issues, all this is you just remove this, remove your little cap here, and you have a perfect spot to fit your Allen key in, and you can actually manually turn the wheel here. If you see there's a cam there, so you can manually turn the whole roller to remove film if you get yourself into a big film wind, okay? Don't panic, just remove the film and be careful. Put the e-stop on so you're not in live mode, and you should be good to go. You've got the nice stand here. If I'm not sure if you did get the stand, but the stand allows you to hold 2 rolls of film underneath, keeps them clean and off the ground. And the cover would go over top of this right to the ground. So definitely recommended to have some type of covering on there. Last thing I'll just show you here is you do have what's called, after you've got into start mode, you just hit start. We'll remove everything from cleaning mode. Alright, you just, if you want to get out of cleaning mode, you actually just hit the arrow here, else it's going to keep going back into cleaning mode. And then home position here, let me just see. Escape. Just hit film feed. Feed your piece of film, and you can remove that piece of film there. Always important to remove that film, okay? If you run into a lot of problems and you need to place a service call, best way to place a service call is to go to mode 495344 POU, and you should have on here actually you don't have on this one an air manual, I don't believe. No. So let's just cause an error then, okay? So if you get a error, just say for example your film wasn't loaded properly, okay? And you go to hit film feed. Okay, what's going to happen is it's going to give you an error code 0482-1100. Okay, and it'll give you some information on here. It'll stop. So it says failed to feed film. Press the emergency stop. Open the left cover. Okay. Remove the film if there is any. Set the film. Close the cover. Release emergency and press return. So if you just go through that and reset the film, usually the instructions on how to get out of an error are really good. From time to time you may get one that's not allowing you to self-correct, and you may have a bad sensor or something like that. So those error codes that you get are very important to make sure you capture them, to give our technicians the ability to troubleshoot the error code and find out what the problem is for you. You should have a manual that has all of the error codes in it. If you don't, please ask our service department or let me know how I can send you that information. Once you've set the film properly and closed the door and done what the instructions have asked, it tells you to hit the return button and release the e-stop. Okay, it's going to feed you a piece of film. It says film removal is completed. Just remove the film and hit the OK button. So if you follow the instructions, you should be good. For some of the instructions you may need to refer to the manual to get yourself out of an issue, but most of them can be quickly relieved by just following the on-screen messages. If If you have any more specific questions, Nathan, if you run into any problems, let me know. We can always make a video for you and troubleshoot any issues for you. Hopefully you can look at the manual and are comfortable just setting up some of your PLUs and so on and so forth. Okay, it's pretty simple just to go in and edit, delete, change information on a PLU. But if you need any help, please let us know. Okay, thanks again, Nathan, and have yourself a great day.